Okay, guys, got a short one today, at least compared to last video I put out. This is a third video I've made in like a week and a half now. I'm trying to keep myself consistent and accountable and keep this up during the prep. Um, Speaking of the prep, let's do a little update on that. Today yesterday I was 7 weeks out from Tampa. Um, and for the next 2 weeks or so, I'm basically gonna be doing nothing. That is to say, I'm gonna be like holding where I am right now. Like I'm about 262 to 265 ish range. And if I continue to like push down for condition right now, I could probably get in shape in like 3 weeks, which is way too early. Because then I'd have to hold that until the show, which would probably just be disastrous. I don't see that going well. So yeah, basically gonna sit on my hands and keep my food relatively high. Like carbs are like 650, 700, something like that. I'm not really hungry right now. I have an appetite, but I'm not hungry, if that makes sense. Like I'm ready to eat, but I'm not like fixated on food and like starving. You know, there's kind of a difference. But yeah, yesterday I went and got some sushi again. There's an all-you-can-eat place that's like 20 minutes from me, and I've only been there twice now, and they're already recognizing me and like they remembered me from the last time. So that happened at this place I went to in Arizona because I would go there like once a week, and I don't think they ever even knew my name, but they were like, "Oh, there's the big guy. He's here alone again to eat sushi." But yeah, I'll probably be doing one of those a week for the next couple of weeks here, and then it's go time. Get in shape the rest of the way, and drop the hammer and finish it up. Should be pretty straightforward. I don't really have too much trouble getting lean nowadays, but as far as like just quick disclaimer, I don't mind talking about gear for the most part, but I don't want it to be the focus of my channel or the content that I put out. But it's part of the sport, right? So right now I've switched to everyday shots just so I don't forget to do them, because I do that sometimes. I'm doing 175 mgs of test a day, and then 100 mgs of EQ, 50 mgs of Mastron, and 30 mgs of Tren Ace. And for me, or for a guy my size, that's not really anything remarkable. It's not mild, but it's not like anything crazy. I think it totals out to like 2.3 or 2.5 grams a week. But like you'll notice the bulk of that number is test and EQ, and those are drugs that I don't really feel all that much, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense if you don't use gear, but yeah, there's certain drugs that really like hit you in the mouth a little bit, and those aren't really one of them. Like when I start ramping up stuff like Tren or maybe the orals more, you really start to notice that in the gym, in the way that you look. At this point, at 7 weeks out, and with me holding my body fat or like conditioning where it is right now, there's no need to ramp up those drugs. They're just kind of, there's no need yet. When it comes time to like, drop the hammer like I was talking about, I like to say you should save your jet fuel for when you need it. And I don't need it right now. My food's just high. When you get into a deeper deficit, when you get really lean, you actually need all those hormones to help protect tissue. You're not really growing. You're trying to protect the tissue that you have on you. That's when you should use the stronger stuff, because if you use it now, well then it will be less effective than if you wait to use it till later. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Nothing too crazy for me. If you are interested in following along with my prep, I'm keeping a pretty detailed prep log on Professional Muscle, the forum. I know most of you guys probably don't even know what the fuck bodybuilding forums are, but once upon a time, like 20 years ago, that's where all the good shit was. Like, there were pros on there on the forums, talking about stuff that they were doing. That's where all the discussion and discourse happened in the sport. I'd say that like I was around back then. I think I was in like elementary school in 2005. But yeah, the Professional Muscle still is pretty active, and I'm doing a prep log on there. So if you want to follow along, I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. I think I can link to that, like a external website like that. But yeah, I'll be like, it's like a full transparency log, talking about everything I'm doing and bantering about other shit. Now, let's talk about something completely different. I wanted to, because I've been thinking about this recently in my head. So the world of like sponsorships in bodybuilding has always kind of fascinated me. From early on, I was always pretty well aware that like the bodybuilding industrial complex, or the fitness industrial complex, was kind of not a scam, but there was a lot of players in it that were less than ethical, or there's a lot of misleading marketing. You have like gigantic professional bodybuilders promoting BCAAs as like, and the implication there is that like that's why I look the way I do, when they're taking a bunch of drugs like I just described. And from an early age, like in this sport, I always kind of understood that there's a bit of kind of inherent dishonesty, or like lying by omission, which I don't like. It's very common in this sport. So, when I have a couple of sponsors, I have GASP and Better Bodies. They're a clothing company, and they make lifting accessories, and they do cool shit. And I mean, if I'm deciding whether or not to be with a company, a big factor of it needs to be like, do I want to promote a product that like I wouldn't use? And I mean, I bought Gas and Better Bodies clothing and stuff before I was ever with the company. Like, I like the brand, I like the way it looks, I like the identity, or like the culture that it promotes, right? So that's cool. My other main sponsor is Biolabshop, which they make peptides, and they also have a very extensive line of over-the-counter supplements, which are both things that I've used and bought and paid for years before I was ever sponsored by the company. And last year, I was with Apollon Nutrition, which is a supplement company, and the reason why I really liked Apollon was because their products were very well dosed, and they were very, very high quality. And the company was like, from talking to the owner and the team that they had there, they had a very good philosophy. Like, they had good ethics. They weren't trying to sell bullshit. They were genuinely trying to make the best products that they could and put them out there. And again, the stuff that I promoted and used from that company was stuff that I had bought and spent my own money on, in the past, before I was ever sponsored by anything. So that's kind of like the criteria that I run a company through if I'm trying to see if I would be interested in them. And that's also like with the understanding that like I just described, like, I just told all you guys what I'm taking right now, right? So like, I'm not telling you that I look like I do because I drink this whey protein isolate from XYZ supplement company. No, I'm on a bunch of drugs, and so are all the other people who are doing what I'm doing. And I think that's fine, and I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing that. And I guess I should probably also add in the last and maybe most important factor in being with a company is like, are they paying you? Because I don't want to promote somebody's stuff for no compensation, and compensation is not product. Sending you stuff that they make for pennies on the dollar for insane margins is not compensation. So yeah, that's kind of how I see the whole game. I think that you can kind of do this stuff ethically. I don't really fault anybody who maybe promotes a product that they wouldn't buy or use or believe in themselves, because frankly, at the end of the day, we all got to make a living and pay the bills, right? So go get your money. But that's kind of how I see the industry and how I'm trying to navigate it myself and not feel like a liar. So that's the end of the video. Bye, guys.